You know what I find interesting, Ryan? The two players who seem to have issues with Mourinho, and in turn Mourinho had issues with them, and he publicly commented on them, and sometimes it seemed to be for show when the cameras were around, would be Pogba and Shaw. Yet those are the two players that seem to have turned things around during their Manchester United careers.
Yeah, well, first of all, with Luke, you know, Luke's the kind of player, the way that he's built, he's got to play. He's got to play games regular, got to keep on top of his weight, and then he's a quality player. He can still work a little bit defensively on his game, but I thought first half, attacking-wise, he was outstanding in the first half today. And, of course, we talked about Pogba before the game, that consistency that every top midfielder in the world, you need that consistency as a midfielder. You know, forward players, wingers, you know, you can be in and out of the game or in and out of form, but midfielders, they're the ones who keep the team ticking. So that consistency has got to be better, which we're now seeing. So, yeah, Ollie's obviously done a good job, but winning games helps that. Winning games, you soon see a happy group of players and happy individuals.
Paul Pogba, what was your take on his overall contribution today, Diddy? Were you impressed?
Very good, very good. You know, had a huge contribution for the first goal when he wins the ball on the edge of the box. Then when Fred comes in, he plays with McTominay in the middle and he moves out to the right. I think he gave a free kick away against Curtis Jones right towards the end, which was probably the only blip. You know, he showed him one side. That was probably the only thing I didn't like, because he gave away a free kick in a dangerous position. Other than that, I think he's been brilliant, and this is how he's got to lead the team. You know, he's one of the most experienced players. He's a World Cup winner, and he's got to show that even a player of his stature, I think even if he's having an off day or an average day, I think he still has got to be one of the better players on the pitch. And then performances like this, I think we see him here, another interception. You know, these are parts of the game we haven't seen enough of him. So he showed today he's capable of doing it, and yeah, I was impressed as impressed as the manager. I think he's been excellent today.
Brian?
Yeah, I think overall his defensive play was excellent. And we all know what sort of quality classes he can produce, but he worked hard, he played the position well, and he looked a proper midfielder today. So, like I said, there's no doubt in his ability. It's just that consistency that you need to be a top midfielder.
When it comes to Paul Pogba, Ryan, does part of you wish that he had stayed on at the club instead of going off to Juventus and then coming back? I know the other argument is he might not be the player he is today if he hadn't gone to Juventus, but supposing he had stayed at Manchester United, supposing he didn't leave, does part of you wish that sort of happened? He could have played with you on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, at the time we had some pretty good midfielders, so you know, I don't think he would have got a lot of game time. But he turned out to be obviously a brilliant player for Juventus and win leagues, and obviously then go on to France and do amazing things for France. So no, you know, players, as did you know, like ships in the night. Really, you see them come and go, and you don't think too much about it. So. Good to see him back now, playing consistently and showing the quality that we all know he's capable of.
Was he a special talent when he was younger? Did he catch your eye? A lot of the teammates of his at the time say it was Ravel Morrison that everybody was paying attention to, not so much Pogba.
Yeah, no, Pogba had quality, without a shadow of a doubt. But Ravel was different. He showed it in training. Didn't unfortunately go on and show it on the big stage, but Ravel would join us in training and would do things that, you know, would just make you laugh. You know, they would glide past people. So that was a waste, that talent. But no, Pogba was up there, and you could see that he was going to be a quality player. I don't think he was sort of nailed on to be the player that he's become, but you could certainly see that he was going to be a very good player.
What about how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has handled the Pogba situation? Do you think he gets enough credit for that? Because it's never easy when you have possibly the most outspoken agent in the entire world chiming in, say, every 6 months, particularly with his latest comments not too long ago about that he will leave the club, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's not going to make Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job any easier, is it?
No, not at all. And I think you've got to give the manager huge credit because you mentioned Mourinho before. You know, there might have been other managers who got into an argument with the agent, which might have been detrimental to the relationship with the player. And you know, I think he was every step of the way. Obviously, Ryan's been in a dressing room with Solskjaer for a number of years. You know, he's probably as calm a man as you've seen. Sometimes I don't think it's easy when you read certain things in the paper to stay calm, but I think the way he's handled the situation is the reason why Pogba is doing now what he does. You know, because if you read the paper, if you read his agent in the last few months, you know, there was a time for me where I thought Pogba is finished at Manchester United. You know, he's not playing well. Not sure whether the club wants him. I'm not sure the manager wants him. And certainly the agent thinks he should be somewhere else. And now fast forward 3 or 6 months, you know, the guys in the team, the top of the league, they just beat the champions in the FA Cup to go into the 5th round. What a turnaround. And I think, you know, 90%, 95%, of course, the player plays his part because he's on the pitch. But I think, 95% of the credit's got to go to the manager.
What do you think Sir Alex Ferguson made of the whole Raiola situation? After all, Sir Alex has spoken about Raiola previously, Ryan, and I'm sure this has left him fuming. I wonder how he would have handled the situation.
I'm not too sure. I mean, obviously, as a manager, when you have got an agent who's outspoken, it's obviously frustrating. But you know, I said at the beginning of the programme, Paul Pogba's a great lad. He was always a great lad when I was there, and I know that he is now. So that's all you need to concentrate on as a manager. The player that you've got in front of you, if your agent wants to talk or make noises, that's up to him. But yeah, again, what Diddy said, Ollie has to take tremendous credit for what he's done, how he's handled it. And Paul Pogba's reacted. And now we're seeing the Paul Pogba that all Manchester United fans wish to see. You know, consistent performances, making tackles, making the passes that we know he's capable of, and making the difference in big games.
Were you pushing for him to rejoin the club? Because the talks seem to be going for a long time, and you did serve as the interim manager at Manchester United. Were you involved in any way of trying to bring Paul Pogba back?
No, when I was there was no talk of Paul. I think I don't know how long he'd been at Juventus, but no, there was no talk of it. I don't think we would have been able to get him anyway, because I think, you know, he was doing so well for Juventus and he was happy.